I've got to be willing to stand up and say, hey, those were bad decisions. Look at the outcome I got. How can I do it better? It's all how you're willing to step up to the plate. Is it easy? Of course it's not easy. You said before I had challenges. Yeah, I had challenges, but I did learn. I used to tell my children when they were small,
Hi Safta, welcome to the channel.
thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you, welcome back. I told you already, but I'll say again that thank you very much for the great value that you provided in the videos before. People really loved it, and thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We just talk about previous videos, and a lot of times in life we put our focus about previous, on the past. Now, we all live life, so of course the past will be some of it. But what is the past? Is the past a place that we look at it and start criticizing ourselves for that, or what's the meaning of the past? You know, your past, you went through a lot. You went through the Holocaust, and you went also through more things later on in life. What is the past for you? How do you look at the past?
Can you change the past?
Me? No, maybe you.
No, no one can. It's done. It's set in stone. So what purpose can the past serve?
Well, it was in the past. Maybe I could learn from it.
Exactly. The only thing that a past is good for, it's a teacher. It's a teacher. Study it well, what you did in the past. If there were things that were positive outcomes, then learn from those things that you did to increase even better. If the decisions that you made in the past were negative, you got bad outcomes, they're excellent teachers of what not to do.
Were you just now saying that the bad outcomes in life are excellent teachers?
Of course, if you're willing to be a good student. Because they can teach you, wait a minute, this is the decision that I made in the past, and I really had a negative outcome. So let me study the past well. What is it? What were my decisions that made for negative outcomes? How could I have done it better so I could get positive outcomes? It becomes a teacher.
Got it. So, yeah.
But you have to take ownership of being a good student.
I think you just now answered my other question, because my question was basically, according to what you're saying, our past doesn't have to define our future.
Exactly.
But that's like a big but, that only if we take ownership for it.
Beautifully said.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let's.
That takes courage and that takes strength. Most of us cup out and lie. Oh, I wasn't responsible for that. No, I didn't do that. Well, you're just defeating yourself if you do that. If you're in denial, then you're bound to make mistakes again.
What do you mean? Give me an example. Like,
what did you just say before?
Well, I said that the past doesn't need to define your future.
Exactly. If in your past, your outcome of the decisions that you made turned into negative results, then you can learn from those results. Wait a minute, I did not make a good decision. What can I do to make it better? So therefore, by doing better, smarter, wiser decisions, you're now assuring that your future will be better.
Okay, I understand that. When we speak here and now, it's a nice, comfortable apartment. It's easy to say that, but how do you help someone? How does someone help himself? You know, be a student and let the past be a teacher rather than something that destructs his life. Because here and now, it's comfortable to say, but when you went through your challenges in life, it's not easy to look at the past as a teacher because it's hard. You know, you went through hard things, and it's not easy to look at it as a teacher. So how can someone that is right now listening to this and is going through challenging things in life, how can they bring their mindset to see the past as a great teacher that can be a stepstone for the future?
I disagree with what you said. It can be a great teacher. The past can be a great teacher, but the essence, the very core of what counts here is, are you willing to learn from the mistakes that you did in the past? Because obviously you made some wrong choices.
Right.
Well, if those choices were wrong because you see that by the outcome of the choices that you made, then doesn't it make sense, common sense, that says, those are the decisions that I made and I got a lousy outcome. So doesn't that tell you that I need to make different decisions? Which means do your homework. What decisions did you make that you had negative results? Based on those decisions that were wrong, what can you learn from them to make the next decisions right? That's what I'm saying. The big thing here is, what responsibility will you take upon yourself of learning from the bad decisions that you made and figuring out, how could I do it better? That takes homework. That takes courage. That takes perseverance. If you're going to cap out on yourself, so you're going to blame the world, it wasn't my fault. Well, yeah, most of the time it is, because we're shortchanging ourselves. We're shortchanging ourselves when we're constantly pointing the finger this way. A lot of times it's here. I've got to take ownership of the decisions that I make. And I've got to be willing to stand up and say, hey, those were bad decisions. Look at the outcome I got. How can I do it better? It's all how you're willing to step up to the plate. Is it easy? Of course it's not easy. You said before I had challenges. Yeah, I had challenges, but I did learn. I used to tell my children when they were small, as you continue growing up, you're going to meet all kinds of people that will pass through your life. Thank God, a lot of them you can learn from what to do because they made good decisions. But there are also quite a few that you can learn from what not to do, because look at the outcomes that they had. So yes, it's work. Anything worthwhile is work. Anything that comes easy, do you really appreciate it? Do you really know what have you learned? It's usually the tough times that are the good teachers. Because if you're willing to be a good student, they will teach you how to make better decisions, better choices. That's what life is. It's filled with choices. But you got to step up to the plate and be willing to learn what those choices should be.
Yeah, well, regarding choices, we could put a link at the bottom. People can see the past video that we spoke about choices. I want to go back to something you said that, about taking ownership and pointing the finger to ourselves. But I think this is a place that needs to be, pretty cut and clear. Pointing the finger to ourselves, what I believe is not to basically criticize ourselves and take ourselves down. You said a sentence, how can we do it better?
Yes,
so
that's not criticizing, that's teaching.
Exactly. So I'm saying, I think it's beautiful, like when someone comes out of a state of mind, how can I do it better? Not, okay, I was terrible, I was so bad, and then, because then this will keep on going down. We'll keep on going down, we're going to crush.
Yes.
But if the mind is a mind of how can I do it better?
Yeah.
So you just now said that the past could be our greatest teacher. And I think understanding that, like we started, the past was we can change it. That's a fact.
Right.
And then after that, if we take that ownership and say, okay, this happened, I did this, now how can I learn from it? Because if someone else did that, maybe you'll hear the story, but you won't learn that well if you didn't go through it yourself.
True.
So I think it's really crucial to
True.
understand that the past could actually be a building stone to your future if you have the right state of mind. And I think that's beautiful.
I am in awe of how beautiful you put it, because exactly correct. No, don't say, oh, poor me. Instead say, hey, I've got a learning opportunity over here to improve. What's wrong with that? That's fantastic.
Beautiful. And if someone doesn't look at it that way, so you missed.
He missed the boat. He hurt himself or herself. If we don't take ownership of our own, then we're shortchanging ourselves.
What do you mean when you say that?
If we don't take ownership and say, well, yeah, that was the choice I made, but I can see from the results of that choice, it's not a positive one. That's a learning lesson. Okay, that choice was not positive. What other kind of choice can I make that perhaps I will get a better result? But you have to be willing to say, yep, that was not a good choice. What should I make instead? And it's not the end of the world if you see you made a mistake. Mistakes are learning opportunities.
The opposite. It's an opportunity to make the world better if you learn from it.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly. So mistakes, don't get all shook up. Oh my God. No. You were given a learning opportunity. That was not a good choice. How can I do it better?
That's so important to have that mindset of how can I do it better. And I believe also it comes that, so if I did a mistake, I'll feel that feeling. That might be a hard feeling of that mistake because I did something that was wrong, but I could give it that time. But then right after that, look at it in a different lenses of, okay, whatever it was, like we said, we can't change it. How can we learn from it? And not only how can we learn from it, how can we improve our lives through our mistakes? So there's a song, a famous singer that talks about all of our perfect imperfections. So all of those imperfections in life, they're the perfect, like they create the beauty. Only if we're in a place of, we take the ownership to ourselves and we learn and we make the life a more beautiful life. We make it more beautiful for us, for the people surrounding. So
yes,
I really appreciate you emphasizing those points that people can understand the fact that something happened in the past. Okay, happened,
you had a learning opportunity. Yeah. Look at it that way.
Exactly. Maybe it was hard, maybe not. Like you said, it was a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's a learning opportunity that it could be like a stepping stone to something a lot bigger. So I really appreciate you putting that emphasis that people now understand that the past maybe it was hard, and we need to accept that, surrender, and then look at the past. Okay, what did it come to teach me? Because it happened. It was.
You just said it. What did it come to teach me? Excellent.
So I think when people come from that state of mind, they'll only realize that their past is something so beautiful that help them actually grow in life. When they'll take that responsibility to themselves and take out from that past those golden nuggets and dig inside there and take out some diamonds and basically make their life more beautiful. So I really appreciate putting an emphasis on that, giving people hope to understand that whatever was, the future is all ahead of you, and actually the past could be there as a stepping stone for a beautiful future. So
yeah. You have a beautiful way of analyzing. Beautiful. You do a much better job than I do, I must tell you. I can learn from you as well. We can learn from each other. It's ageless. Learning from each other is every time, as long as you live.
Thank you very much. Learning from each other sounds amazing. I learned a lot from you, and I really appreciate that. And again, really thank you very much for your time and giving this great value. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Anytime.
I hope you enjoyed the video and got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. If you haven't yet, please smash that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, the most amazing things in life are the ones you take for granted.